category is politics, and the answer is 8%. What is the question?
How much of Abu Hamza will have to be removed so as they can get him through the Heathrow metal detector? What level of erection did I once try and have sex with?
Do you measure on that scale, or is it just on terms of...
Image of you going out on the pole, checking your wallet before you go out, condom, protractor.
How is the government planning to catch middle-class tax avoiders?
With a butterfly net and the van from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
It'll probably work better than the plan they have.
They're planning to catch them using lie detectors. Middle-class people taking lie detector tests. It's like an upmarket version of Jeremy Kyle. And I'd like to see that. Wouldn't you like to see that middle-class Jeremy Kyle? You know, my cleaner ran off to another family. My husband's using the wrong cutlery. You corked my Merlot!
The next topic is environment. Andy Parsons.
So, now, apparently, plastic bags are evil. Because apparently, they take 100 years to biodegrade. Now, that came as a bit of a shock to me, because often when you get a bag in a supermarket, they seem to biodegrade when you put anything heavy in them. That is why people double bag, isn't it? Because otherwise, it's like a crap magic trick, isn't it? They give you the bag, you put the bag on the counter, you put the stuff in the bag, you pull up the bag, and hey, presto, the stuff's still there on the bloody counter.
Well done, Andy Parsons.
People are saying, oh, well, it's stupid. You know, what's the point of any of our kids learning Arabic? But it could be quite useful, couldn't it? For instance, if you were sat on the tube and two people in front of you were speaking Arabic, it would make you a little more relaxed about what they had in their bag. Basically, these education proposals, you know, they've been upsetting teachers. And you don't want to upset a teacher, do you? Very easy to upset a teacher. All you've got to do to upset a teacher is go, oh, you've got long holidays. They don't like that, do they? And then, if you continue with that with, oh, and you finish at 3:30. Oh, they're livid, aren't they? Oh, I've got me marking.
And Frankie, the next topic is... it's terrorism. Andy's in like a shot.
Now, Tony Blair has once again tried to justify improving our nuclear weapons because he says one of the reasons is he's worried terrorists such as Osama bin Laden might get hold of them. Now, once again, I think this is scaremongering. We know Osama bin Laden hasn't got a nuclear weapon because we haven't seen it on his videos. We know he's got a rifle and a donkey. I don't think we've got to worry until he's ditched the rifle and we see his donkey strapped with a cruise missile.
Well done, Andy Parsons. Bad things to say at a job interview.
I'm really only here because I'm hoping to slip on a wet floor and then fall off a ladder.
Hey, I remember you from the dungeon. How you doing? It's me, Gimpy Terry.
I'm Gimpy Terry's mate.
He has been accused of verbally abusing a policeman at the gates to Downing Street who wouldn't let him through the main gates and forced him to go through the pedestrian gates. He swore at the policeman and apparently called him a pleb.
They may have changed the words he said, because the words they claim he says was, best you learn your effing place, you don't run this effing government, you're effing plebs. Right. He said he didn't say those words. Now, I can't read out what words he said, because he hasn't told us, so those are the only ones I can read out.
These are the people, though, who are charged with protecting him. You don't want to upset them.
No.
Oh, yes, I didn't catch Mr Mitchell as he fell from the second floor of the building, because I didn't think he'd want me to touch him, given that I'm a pleb and everything. But as we took his body out of Downing Street, we took him through the main gate. It's what he would have wanted.
We start with a round called Headliners. Here's a picture of Prime Minister Gordon Brown with his immediate predecessor, Tony Blair. But what does BMCB stand for?
Is it Brown's Mental Complete Breakdown?
Or is it just Britain's Mr. Charisma Bypass?
Is it Blundering Morons Crucifixion Begins?
Or is it just bollocks, my career's buggered?
Sometimes that's all satire needs to be.
I'll call it ideas for scenarios we'd love to see, and the performers come in with their suggestions. The first subject is unlikely things to hear on Comic Relief.
And we'd just like to thank the donation of 160,000 turkeys from a Mr. B. Matthews.
The next topic is the worst thing your new neighbour could say.
What day do the bins go out round here? My wife's body's starting to stink.
I hope my turkeys won't be keeping you awake. So, it was the Olympic parade last week. It was great seeing it live. Obviously, I had to keep a certain amount of a low profile in the crowd because I was throwing a sickie from work at the time. But it was great. 21 buses driving through London at a steady 2 miles an hour. So very like a normal day in London, really. There was an embarrassing moment, though, when one of the conductors rang the bell on the bus and then got the shit kicked out of him by the blind football team. And I realised, actually, that I could get into any sport during the Olympics. The only sport I couldn't actually get into, dressage. Watching a horse walk and then reverse. They call it horse ballet. I don't think anybody would go and see ballet if it was just some bloke walking a bit quicker, slowing down a bit, stopping, bowing, and then pissing off. And secondly, not many people go to ballet anyway because it's shit. Thank you very much, Is it the number of tweets that David Cameron's received to his new Twitter account that include the word tosspot? Is it, in fact, what are the chances against getting a joke about Jim will fix it on the BBC?
Berlusconi will put you in the cabinet in Italy at the age of 19 if you're good enough. So you can see where this is coming from.
Harriet Harman's an incredible figure, isn't she? You know that Harriet Harman, when she first came to my attention, she wrote a book about the history of feminism, which she dedicated to her husband. She's mistaking sexism with people hating her.
She's always saying stupid things, isn't she? She said she is Radio 2 to Gordon Brown's Radio 4. And you're thinking, well, she's not Radio 2. Radio 2 is the most popular radio station in this country. If she's anything, she's Isle of Wight FM on a Sunday morning at 3 o'clock in January when the transmission mast is broken. Andy Murray, a man who actually came along to our studios, didn't he?
Yes, indeed he did.
Came along after he'd lost Wimbledon.
Yep.
And then after we'd all taken the piss out of him,
Yep.
he went off and he won the Olympics and he won the US Open.
Yes.
I think all sports people who are struggling should come into the audience of the show. Let's get Paula Radcliffe, Philip Sidowu, Nick Clegg. It'd be brilliant, wouldn't it?
I think it's kind of ironic that you'd ban smoking in pubs in London when it's kind of impossible to breathe outside a pub in London. Children are chasing buses down the street, like nipping at the tailpipe, hoping for chunks of charcoal fresh air, you know.
So says the man from LA.
You let people drive cars, right? I'm guessing a car puts out more smoke than maybe a cigarette.
It does, but that doesn't mean,
You don't actually drive inside. You know, don't drink and drive, especially in the pub.
OK, so war on terror. Who wants to go first? Andy?
Yes, the war on terror. The Americans have said, you know, they're worried that Iraq is their new Vietnam. Let's hope not. Otherwise, we're in for some shit movies in about 10 years' time.
Good man, Andy. Well done. Andy Parsons there. Your category is sport. The answer is 1 billion.
Is it how many wives would Henry VIII have had if he'd been on Tinder?
I shall have her. And I shall have her. Am I even flicking the right way? I shall have her. Okay. Oh, thank you. Okay.
Is it how many pounds in cash did the Queen hide under her bed when she'd seen that Jeremy Corbyn had been elected leader?
Her family security is at risk. Here's a picture of the new Labour leader, Jeremy Corbyn. So what's going on here?
Has he been sleeping in the bin on the right?
The idea it could be the oldest delivery boy in the world still hasn't figured out how to hold a pizza correctly.
Is he such a dedicated socialist that he refuses to look to the right, even though that's the direction he is in fact walking?
My topic is politics. Who wants to come in on that? Andy Parsons.
So, we've had the Lib Dems announce their immigration plan. What they like to do is they'd like to put immigrants into places in Britain which don't, at the moment, have many immigrants. Quite what those parts of Britain will feel about that policy. I grew up for quite a long time in Cornwall, and there they regarded anybody who came from Devon as an immigrant. We had one bloke on our street who was known as the Traveller because he'd once been by train up to London. And we have a new president for Europe, a man by the name of Herman Van Rompuy. Now, the Sun can't wait to get a headline going on this one. Rumpy Pumpy, Rumpy Numpty, Humpty Rumpy. They'll go for gold if he gets involved in an affair with a one-legged ugly dwarf. Rumpy Pumpy from Rumpy Numpty with Frumpy Stumpy Grumpy.
Well done, Andy Parsons. Your category is world news. The answer is 1/5. What's the question?
How much of a Boris Johnson speech is not, well, I say, boss?
OK, here we go. The first subject is things you wouldn't hear on a science documentary.
Hello, my name's Dara O'Brien. And to try and bring science to the masses, I'm going to appear in a programme with Stephen Hawking wearing a ridiculous hat.
Just enough with the, you know... I love that hat, by the way.
Hello, I'm Dara O'Brien. And I've got a massive head and a massive brain, but all I get to do in this bit is just press a little button.
The Olympics. Who wants to come in on that? Andy Parsons.
Now, I don't know how you got on with getting tickets for the Olympics. There are still tickets for the Greco-Roman wrestling. Yeah, whoopee-doo. There aren't so many Romans in Britain anymore, are there? And those Greeks can't afford the tickets. And we will have forever our first GB football team. Yeah, it'll be the first time that Ryan Giggs, Ashley Cole and John Terry have got together since the last Miss World contest. But if you haven't got any tickets, go and see the Olympic road race cycling, right? It's free, yeah? But it's not the same as proper road cycling. Never in the Olympics do you see somebody having to go off into a ditch because there's a lorry turning left. Never do you see somebody go over the handlebars because some idiot in his car has opened the door without looking in his side mirror. Never do you see somebody fall off their bike because a car has screamed past and somebody has whined down the window and shouted, "Boo!" Although that may happen when the Olympics come to Hackney in 2012.
Thank you very much, Andy Parsons. What did David Cameron do recently that no other serving British Prime Minister has ever done?
Samantha Cameron.
Yeah. That's true. But he also went on Letterman in the States, didn't he?
He came out to loads of dry ice and they said it represented a London fog when we haven't had a London fog for over 100 years. That's the stereotype image that those Americans believe. What? The fat, dumb redneck. The closest we've currently got to a London fog is Boris Johnson at the moment. Either that or Amy Childs from The Only Way Is Essex.
What Boris Johnson did say was that he got it wrong deliberately because he didn't want to seem like he had Latin coming out of every orifice. Now, that sounds creepy, doesn't it?
The thing about Boris Johnson, though, isn't it, is everybody thinks he's quintessentially English, but in fact he was born in America, named after a Russian, and looks like a Swedish person who's eaten another Swedish person.
And it's the economy. Annie Parsons.
I suppose we should be grateful we're not in Greece. Things very bad there. There's rioting. Things so bad, the austerity measures, that they can't even afford to put petrol in their milk bottles to chuck them. Things are so bad they're having to put milk in their milk bottles. That's how bad things are. Oi, take that. Yeah, in 2 hours your clothes are going to smell really bad. The European Central Bank, right, they have said that when it comes to Greece, they think it may be a bit like the Ebola virus, right? And they said we may have to cut off our leg to survive. Now, they may know a bit about finance. They know very little about the Ebola virus. It affects your entire body. You cut your leg off, you've still got the Ebola virus. You've just got one leg bloody less.
Thank you very much, Annie Parsons. Lines you wouldn't hear in a war film.
We've managed to crack the Germans' code. Turns out they were sending messages in German.
I'm afraid we can't afford goggles. So what we're going to have to do, we're all going to have to go like this.
Things you didn't hear at the Olympics.
I am the little girl from the opening ceremony. This is my real voice.
And it's gold for Ireland! And it...
Go again, man, go again. Do it.
And there's fuck all for Ireland!
No, I'm not letting you off for the last Ireland joke. You're not getting on again for the rest of the show. You are not doing another one for the rest of the show, all right? Discarded titles for the next Harry Potter book.
Harry Potter and the Mudblood Prince in a Nazi uniform. Harry Potter and the two other kids who can't act.
The first topic is global warming. Who wants to come in on that? Andy Parsons.
Sheryl Crow, she's gone into the debate. She wants us to save natural resources by apparently using only one sheet of toilet paper per visit. Now, let's face it, sometimes that's just not feasible, is it? But ever since I found that out, part of me's there thinking, each time I use more than one sheet, I've let Sheryl Crow down. Then part of me's thinking, oh, I'd never want to go out with Sheryl Crow. She's a toilet paper Nazi. And half the time, she's probably got a dirty arse.
Thank you very much, Andy Parsons. Here's a picture of former Prime Minister Tony Blair recently, but what does BGBC stand for?
Is it in fact Blair's guilt-free, blood-stained conscience?
That was a lovely answer.
Is it in fact everything the British Army didn't have when we went to war? Bullets, guns, bombs, choppers. I would like to apologise for the rocking of this boat, but we are currently being humped by a whale. There appears to have been an incident in the swimming pool. If a Mr. Barrymore could contact the captain. He actually has ice baths in a wheelie bin. And I mean, that can't be enjoyable, can it? Particularly if he does it on a Tuesday and gets carried away by the cancer.
What a rugby commentator would never say.
Oh, and he skipped through the defence, and that's lucky, because if these South Sea Islanders catch you, they eat you.
And it's the coin toss, and Johnny Wilkinson has sprained his thumb. And here comes...
Hugh Dennis.
It was after I heard the buzzer that I realised there was one thing I hadn't heard at the Olympics, right, was fuck it.
And the topic is history.
Some things in history are good, some things are bad, some things are good, and then they get bad, like my great-great-great-uncle was bored in the trenches during the war, so he invented the high-vis jacket. That was the last thing he did. People don't really understand evolution, do they? I was talking to an Australian the other day, and he thought that he came from Darwin. Recently, I wrote a book called All the Things I've Ever Done in My Entire Life, and I don't want to spoil it, but in the end, I write a book. So what's got two eyes and smokes? Pompeii. Too soon? My grandfather, he can't do what he used to, you know, bomb the Japanese. And it turns out you can't actually keep an artefact that you find with a metal detector if it's already in the British Museum.
Thank you very much. After that round, the point go to Deborah. The subject is the West Country. Who? Russell.
How can you not love the West Country? I've genuinely seen graffiti in Bristol during the last Tory campaign. Do you remember, are you thinking what we're thinking? Somebody had written underneath it, is it, do I like what's-its? It's phenomenal. Just wonderful, isn't it? I used to live there. I've moved away from Bristol because I was near a dogging site, which is just a bit odd, right? And, all right, I wasn't into it. I was just near a dogging site, right? And I was talking to my friend. I was like, Jane, why do they do dogging near the house, right? And she looked and went, apparently you got really great views of the Clifton Suspension Bridge. And you're like, well, you've got faith in humanity, haven't you? Just the idea that I tell you what, it's only when you're doing the nasty in a cortina that you can truly appreciate the work of Isambard King de Brunei. That, my friend, is craftsmanship. Shall we? Wonderful.
Thank you very much, Russell. OK, we're left with Michael and Andy. Let's spin the wheel again. The next subject is North-South Divide. There goes Michael.
Right, yes. Now, I am from the south. Have you noticed? I have been north, up the M1, and I don't know what happens to the word the. It seems to disappear at about junction 25 on the M1, and the word the just goes, that's it from me, I'm getting off. You go on ahead. Are you coming with? No, I'm not interested up there. And then you get there and they don't have, they say, oh, fridge, oh, you're going up to, what are you doing? My first experience of this was when I went to the cinema in Leeds. I saw The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. I had more fun asking the woman what it is I'd booked to see than watching the entire movie itself. So what is it I'm seeing here today? Took one, took witch and took one. What's he talking about? You're hearing this? Are you taking toothpaste? Yes, of course. I thought it might be a nice idea maybe to go to HMV and get a DVD of The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, maybe The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, and perhaps an album by The. And just line them up on the counter. What is it I've decided to purchase here? Took one, took witch and took wardrobe. Took good, took bad and ugly. And took. Thank you.
Well done, Michael. OK, here we go. The first subject is lines you wouldn't hear in a sci-fi movie.
Captain's log, stardate 21:35. It's a Tuesday.
Actually, Jeremy Carr's just got the DNA results back. And apparently, Luke, I'm not your father.
Commander Skywalker, bad news. We left R2-D2 outside to stand guard, and the council took him away for emptying.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. I've seen attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. I've seen...
There's a giant Satsuma in front of the ship. Go to orange alert.
First, there were snakes on the plane. Now the British remake, Wasp in a car.
You can't win, Darth. If you strike me down now, I shall become more powerful. Get off, you prick!
What is it, Captain? I've never seen anything like it in my life. Of course not, Scotty. It's the sun.
Since you have got your laser gun trained on me, I've got a bit of stubborn hair just here.
Permission to beam down to the Forbidden Planet. No.
I can see dead people. That's because I'm watching UK TV Gold.
Here are the Sci-fi football results. R2-D2. C3P. 0.
Look at all those fading, dwindling stars, forced to eat bugs in a jungle.
If you leave our protection, you will almost definitely die. Scotty, do you still want independence?
Luke, I am your father. Go to your room.
Captain, I don't like it when you call me Spock Face.
To boldly go where no man has gone before. Anne Widdecombe.
How many Klingons does it take to change a dilithium crystal? 10. 1 to change it, and the other 9 to chastise him for performing such a menial task when he's a member of a proud warrior race.
In other news, what might we be sending out via smartphones next year?
Oh, this is a good one. This is smells. You can sell smells over your iPhone.
Yes.
It's brilliant, isn't it? If you fart in a meeting, you know, just blame your phone. You know, somebody sent me a farticon. I'll just turn that off, you know.
I'm going to say it's going to be great when Obama finally picks up the phone and goes, Dave, I can smell pasta. You in Trago Mills?
We don't need it, do we? Like, it's this constant thing of, like, making things that nobody is being on the phone to someone and go, do you know what would make this so much easier to understand what you're on about? If I could smell you.
There is a good use for it. For instance, if you're seriously into collecting your cheeses, you don't actually keep them in your own house. You keep them at someone who owns a cheesery, and you say, you ring up and you say, "How's my camembert doing?" And he goes, "Well, I can let you know." And he goes and he records it, and he texts you, where, you think, well, that needs another 10 years, that sort of thing.
Do you genuinely phone up? Do you genuinely check on your cheese?
No, mate, I'm improvising.
I don't know how the other half live.
Back in that round, with Josh, Anthony and Andy.
Men football?
The Copa America is on, right? And a player got sent off because the guy who was marking him fingered him in the backside.
Yeah.
And then when he turned around, the guy who'd done the deed with the finger pretended to go down as if he'd been hit.
He fingered him and then went down?
Yeah, exactly.
How is that a bookable offence? That
seems, if anything,
sounds generous.
It seems overly intimate.
Yeah, he got his bum hole fingered, didn't he?
There was some contact.
Well, the finger went in his bum hole.
In the general area. It was quite proctological. There was an element of, well, if you're going to check my prostate, at least train for a few years in this field.
I like how you're making it scientific, but we just want to say bumhole fingering.
You do say bumhole.
Finger in his bum hole.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone say the word bumhole more often than this, Rob.
Bumhole is funny, isn't it?
You finally got a catchphrase, something that people can shout at you in the street.
I almost regret bringing that story up now. Can we move on?
I mean, you brought it up, Dara, to be fair.
OK. The next story. OK, maybe before... OK. What became legal across all of the United States this week?
Bumhole fingering.
It's very difficult to lie and claim you're taller than you are when you're the only member of the team that's on a booster seat.
The way nature of these things, you have to do little pickups that'll cover various options for the... Fuck me, everyone is gone.
Am I invisible?
Oh, no, you're still here, Hugh. You're always here.
Yeah, I'll tell you why I'm here. I've already gone.
OK.
We are live from Las Vegas for the grudge match of the century between Hulk Hogan and the Harlem Globetrotters. Racist, isn't he? I can't do it all.
I'm almost certain my producer has got this wrong. I'm a train, bollock, piddle, fuck.
Now we come to scenes we'd like to see. So if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, I'll read out this week's topics, and then we'll definitely we're doing that again. That was the shittiest 6 people getting out of chairs we've had in 10 years of this show. OK, we need you to answer this question.
OK.
We've chosen you to answer this question because of many of your unique skills, including your attendance. Why did one of Corbyn's shadow cabinet appointments upset farmers? Unlikely lines from a blockbuster movie.
How long can I keep this up?
I've got the buzzer.
There's also an answer for this one, probably coming from Hugh again. Hugh, you're on fire today, I have to say. Compliment you on how well...
I was on fire, but I've wet myself, so...
At the end of that round, the point's going to Ed, you and Nathan!
Ed, you and Milton?
Ed Nathan. Sorry, I apologise. I mumbled it. I said Nathan.
You said Milton.
You did not say Milton. There is literally no way.
Me and Milton, we get confused all the time.
All the time.
Tom Daley there receiving surprisingly low marks. Pat balls.
In other news, what essential task will British astronaut Major Tim Peake be responsible for aboard the International Space Station?
He's going to unclog the shitter.
He's not. That's a fucking problem. Yeah. Still just as funny now as it was early on. Okay, so translate this, Stephen fucking Fry. Okay, let's spin the wheel. The first subject is religion. Who wants to go in that? Tess.
I'm religious, not very popular these days. It surprises me how much people don't know about my religion, Islam, given how much it's in the news. I've got a... We've nailed that. I've got a good friend called Jonathan. We've been friends for years. He doesn't know that much about me. A couple of months ago, me and Jonathan were in a nice restaurant, having a nice meal. Next to us a table, minding their own business. We're minding our own business. Everyone's having a wonderful time. Halfway through my meal, the balloon closest to me from the birthday table, it burst. And I just shouted out in my excitement, Jesus Christ. Jonathan lost his damn mind. Oh, Jesus Christ, is it? What happened to your Allah and Muhammad now, mate? I'm like, Jonathan, what have you won? He went, nah, mate, it's just you bang on about being Muslim, yeah? But in that moment when you were scared, when you were fearful for your safety, you didn't think of Allah, you didn't think of Muhammad, your mind went straight to our Lord and Saviour, Jesus Christ. What does that shit say about you? Rubbish Muslim. All right, Jonathan, I can clearly see this is the best day of your life. 3 things. Thing number 1, you should be aware of this, but if you're not, for Muslims, Jesus, that's our vice captain. Secondly, me just invoking Jesus Christ is just me invoking a British cultural saying. If anything, it shows how well integrated I am. Thank you very much. And thirdly, most importantly, Jonathan, if at that moment there was a loud bang, I shouted in Arabic, you'd have shit yourself!
Thank you very much, Charles. Very good. The first subject is rejected exam questions.
History. Did I delete it?
If cycling 10 miles a day uses up 400 calories, explain why Boris Johnson is still a fat bastard.
If the sun is 93 million miles away, how can that cost £32 in an Uber?
Where is Greece? Is it A, the southern Mediterranean, or B, up shit creek?
What does the French phrase déjà vu literally translate as?
Using examples of Michelangelo's work, write 500 words on why he was the best turtle.
What does the French phrase déjà vu literally translate as?
Question A. Media studies. Is it a real subject? Question B. Is it...
Using a compass and ruler, draw perfect cock and balls.
is this a rhetorical question?
You may now commence your anal sex exam. Please turn over.
Explain how UKIP became a major force in British politics without using the word wanker.
If Jay-Z is unfortunate enough to have a problem with a bitch, how many problems does Jay-Z now have?
Aggravated violence, question 1. Why might you use a bit of rubber hosepipe? No marks.
What colour is this dress? White and gold or black and blue? Discuss.
If a train leaves the station at the correct time and arrives at its destination at the correct time, how cool would that be?
Chemistry, me, you. Is there any?
OK, the next topic is unlikely things to say when running for US president.
I'm Hillary Clinton, and if you elect me the first female president of the United States, I promise you that on my first day in the White House, I will hire a very attractive male intern. He will be on his knees, not having sexual relations with me all day. Hashtag payback, hashtag long game.
I want to go to Washington. Why? I want to see what colour the White House is.
No, we can't!
The name Clinton is in the DNA of the White House. In fact, the DNA of Clinton are on the walls of the White House.
I know the value of family because I sold one of my children to pay for this campaign.
As president, I will welcome immigrants, because the White House is massive and it's not going to clean itself.
I will govern for all of this country, not just the metropolitan cities on the coast, but also you cousin shaggers down south.
I would like to introduce you to my new Homeland Security advisor. Say hi, Lamb Chop.
Hi. Come on, of course I'm the guy to succeed Obama. You know what they say? Once you go black.
If you elect me America's first colourblind president, I will do everything I can to uphold the values of the brown, white and green.
I would now like to talk to you people in a language of my own devising.
I want to put more boots on the ground in Afghanistan, and also 2 more branches of Paper Chase.
What you must remember is the people we need to convince are the great American people. And most of them are as thick as pig shit.
I'd like to apologise for Mr. Trump, which is what I say when I've just farted in bed.
When I was little, I did not plan to be President of the United States. This is more like a holding job until I get to rule a good country.
I am American through and through. Cut me, and I will shoot you in the face.
I wish to have no secrets in this campaign. I wish to be completely open, and it is done. That is why I'm going to start that again, because I fucked that up.
We Republicans want to reach out to all Americans. Blacks, whites, Chinese-y looking ones.
I want to have no secrets in this campaign, and that is why I have gathered you here tonight to tell you I shot JFK.
OK, give that round of applause to Ed, Sarah and Andy. Unlikely lines from a thriller.
What more evidence do you need that there is a mole? Look at the lawn.
Your wife's head in a box. You must be the most unlucky contestant ever on Deal or No Deal.
What colour wire do I have to cut? The lilac, the mauve, the salmon pink or the fuchsia?
I want to make you a vodka martini. You can't handle vermouth.
Is that a gun in your pocket, or are you just pleased to see me? She purred. Yes, it is a gun in my pocket, and I've just shot my cock off.
I'm telling you, there will be no attack. This is a side picked by Roy Hodgson.
So, Mr. Bond, we meet... Ah! Flipping cat!
I'm telling you, Captain, I work best alone! Or sometimes in a team! Basically, I'm saying I'm flexible.
So, Mr. Bond, we meet at last. Why didn't we have a Skype?
I would like to gently lift your horse's foot. You can't handle the hoof!
I had human liver with fava beans and a nice Chianti. But the entertainment was excellent and he was a lovely host, so I'm going to give Hannibal 7 out of 10.
Here's Johnny! Do you mind? I'm trying to have a shit in it. This prostitute isn't dead, said the Norwegian detective. She's just pining for the fjords.
And as his eyes gradually became accustomed to the shadowy darkness, he realised he was not alone in that room. Who is it?
It's me, Peter!
OK, the point to Greg, Hugh and Chris. And now we come to our special Christmas quiz. I asked the panelists a series of questions all about the festive season in the hope of filling 5 minutes we're trying to get out of this of our Christmas special. So, teams, here we go. First question, what Christmas tradition was it? There are no buzzers or any points. This show is not built in any way to accommodate genuine quizzes. But nonetheless, you can take your turns. Which Christmas tradition was inaugurated by Sir Henry Cole in 1843?
Is it the Christmas tree?
Is it not the Christmas tree?
Arguing with your relatives?
No, it's not that one either, I'm afraid. No.
Is it holding mistletoe above your head and therefore being allowed to sexually harass other people?
It is not that happy tradition, no.
Is it waking your children early, saying to them, oh, it looks like the sleeping pills have worked, happy Easter?
Is it going to church just once a year, and that's usually at midnight after the pubs have closed because you want one more glass of wine?
Man, you really want to be desperate for your wine, wouldn't you? That is something to bring up at an AA meeting. I sat through God. That's how much I wanted another drink.
Is it a Christmas stocking?
That's not Christmas stocking.
That's a Victorian tradition.
Were you trying to mime something there for us?
It was
The Christmas card.
Yes! Well done, Ed Byrne. Points for him. Congratulations.
There are no points.
I know there are no points.
You promised us there'd be no points.
Name Santa's reindeer. I'll take attempts at this.
Donner and Blitzen.
Correct.
Prancer and Vixen.
That's 2 each.
Dasher.
Yes, 3
It's like you're doing a duet.
Gonza. But not Rudolph. That's a lie.
We've had. What have we had? I've lost. I'm actually lost.
Donner and Blitzen.
Donner and Blitzen. Some Dasher, Comet.
Bashful.
Bashful, Sleepy, Doc and Vixen.
If one's called Comet, one's going to be called Curry's. Almost.
Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Comet, Vixen, Cupid.
Cupid?
No, we said Cupid.
Ridiculous name for a reindeer. Cupid.
They must have teased him, though, with a name like that. They must have teased him. He must have been the reindeer that they teased.
Reindeer are notoriously shallow, in fairness. If the story about Rudolph is anything to go by, reindeer are ridiculously shallow. And they will make fun and they will slag you off until you get a job with Santa, and then they will all love you. The last line of that song should actually be, and then Rudolph turned around at them and said, well, fuck yous, I'm with Santa now.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Why did you look at my ass for the entire... Why don't you fly the entire world while you look at my hole, right? It doesn't matter how fast we fly, that's all you're going to see. Ho, ho, ho. Yeah, all you're going to see is my hairy reindeer ass going all around the world. The nose is in the front, bitches. The nose is fighting fog, but you're looking at my ass, Cupid. That's all you get.
Enjoy your reindeer game.
Oh, can we move on? Oh, sorry, is that not festive enough for this ridiculously contrived? Sorry, am I not striking the mood of the nation at this stage? Yeah, look at the bitches! Look at that ass! See you, baby! Shaking that ass! Shaking that ass! Yeah. Good night! Ho, ho, ho.
So, what else? In other health news? What health initiative is coming into schools?
Michael Gove is saying school lunches should be banned because apparently only 1% of them meet the nutritional requirements that school dinners are supposed to have.
Yes, that is generally the gist of it.
That's the facts.
Yeah.
I don't have a joke.
Yeah, it's true. No, it's true. But it's only 1% of. I mean, what
I don't know. I don't like the story anyway. Is it just me? I don't want to think about Michael Gove's lunchbox. I just don't want to think about it.
Well, I'm sorry. I presume people put it. And what are people putting into it? Like, they're only 1%.
Well, not the kind of stuff. You see, this seems to be a very unfair story because they're saying that packed lunches are very unhealthy compared with school lunches, but they're not. I mean, when I only ever had packed lunches. I had brown bread sandwiches. I had 2 cubes of jelly.
What?
Yeah.
Jelly that wasn't made?
Jelly that wasn't made, because my mum didn't like giving us chocolate or sweets or something. She used to cut up jelly. Yeah. She used to cut up a jelly, you know, the cube that you make it from, and give me 2 bits of it. And it was really, really nice. But for the rest of the day after I'd had it, I was always slightly worried that it might turn into jelly.
Just a huge-shaped...
If you drank a glass of water, it would sort of go...
Split apart and there'd be a huge-shaped jelly there. That's the biggest jelly baby in the world.
I also did point out to you that you also said you had brown bread sandwiches. Do you mean like 2 slices of brown bread with a slice of brown bread?
You have to. I mean, how can packed lunches have only 1% of the nutritional requirement of a school dinner? What are people putting in these packed lunches? Is it like a large sandwich and a sugar cube? You're thinking some of the kids must be so stupid they're actually eating the plastic box.
I thought parents have more control.
No, but they do. The problem is parents do have control. Every time they try and solve this problem, the parents get in the way. When Jamie Oliver tried it, right, tried to get rid of turkey twizzlers and put healthy food in schools, so mums at the school gate passing packets of chips through to their children. If you want to solve this problem, it's not a policy thing. Just make the railings thinner so they can't shove the massive hand. Sandra, you're going to have to put your face right up and eat a feed into your individual. You know which kids it was? They're going after lunch with shiny lips and 2 rust lines down the face.
I have to, you're making an excellent point, but you said turkey twizzlers. I genuinely thought you said when they tried to get rid of Turkish prisoners. Why are Turkish prisoners feeding children in school?
Because they are getting their
for the rest of that. For the whole thing, I was going, well, one of them is called Sandra.
And that really is the clue as to the likelihood that I didn't actually say that.
I suppose.
But
put it that way, it makes more sense. They're suggesting that teachers should eat with the kids. But the thing is that, you know, a lot of teachers do currently eat with the kids, although it's usually in the form of a romantic meal, isn't it?
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas, DVD owner.
We start with a round called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Matt, which category would you like?
World news, please.
OK, world news it is. The answer is petrol, money and drugs. What is the question?
Is it the 3 middle names of Princess Charlotte?
Is it what 3 things might a Greek keep in a chicken?
Is it what do gangsters play instead of rock, paper, scissors?
Is it what 3 things are keeping Keith Richards alive?
Is it what in The Sound of Music are the Von Trapp's family's real favourite things?
What are the 3 characters called on a packet of Colombian Rice Krispies?
Is it what 3 things are we being paid in this evening?
All together in one big bucket.
Yeah.
What will the motto be for the Qatar World Cup?
Is it complete the song? Hugh Pugh, Barney McGrew.
That's scanned. That probably scans very, very well.
It's a much better song, wouldn't it?
It would have been very good.
What are the 3 main aisles in a Bolivian Waitrose?
Do they know the correct answer?
You know that tattoo you got that you think says peace, love and harmony? Is it to do with Greece?
It is to do with Greece.
Is it what 3 things are they worn in Greece are about to run out of?
Ah, very good. Thank you very much, Ed Byrne. That's excellent. Yes, the question I was looking for is what items are at risk of running out in Greece after Sunday's crucial vote on the EU's bailout terms. This is news as 61% of the Greek population voted against accepting the strict austerity measures proposed by the EU. There's now a real risk that the country will run out of money, fuel and medicine. So what does it all mean for Greece?
It's ridiculous now. The whole thing is just going on. It is like a soap opera. And I don't watch the Eurozone crisis now day to day. I wait till Sunday and I watch the Omnibus edition.
This thing of just referring to the Greek exit as Grexit, it just is like, are you in that much of a hurry that you couldn't say a 3rd syllable?
If the British exit happens, it's going to be called Brexit. It sounds like a cheap form of Lego, or what the Greek Prime Minister does every time he meets Angela Merkel.
I don't get this thing that you can... I didn't know that you could reject banks' demands. If I'd known that, my whole life would have been different. If I'd been able to go to the bank and go, well, I do owe you 10 grand, but I really like my lifestyle.
It could be, but it could be a mis-selling scandal, doesn't it? Because as far as I'm aware, Greece was never made to sign that box that said your home is at risk if you do not keep up the repayments.
You think they're waiting for the PPI?
I think
the
they'll
400 quid of PPI. Yeah. That's the one thing that will bail them out of this time.
Apparently the Greek government have admitted that living in their past is their Achilles heel.
No one was expecting that reaction.
No. Oxy, they went. Oxy to that. I think it's definitely a case that if they want to get bail themselves out, like whatever, they really just have to invoke copyright law on all the stuff they invented some time ago now, right? But that they definitely invented, like democracy, triangles and gays. And if they...
Philosophy as well, the birthplace of philosophy, isn't it?
Or was it?
Yes, or you
Who
don't...
knows?
Well...
Why do you think that there is a professional philosopher at home going, that's not what philosophy is? It's not just going, or is it?
I think there's a lot of opportunities in Greece, actually. I'm going to start a band called Cash Machine, because people will be queuing around the block. But we've been told if we go on holiday to Greece that we should take lots and lots of money with us.
Yes.
To rub it in?
I think it's to pay your kidnappers.
I think there's a ploy behind the telling tourists to bring as much cash with them as they possibly can, because they know there'll be a load of overweight, old British tourists there with massive bum bags of cash round the front. They're basically just sitting human ATM machines. That's all they are.
Do muggers line up behind the tourists? Was one of them goes, no, €60 each.
Yeah.
There is a limit for mugging these people. That's it. Now we come to scenes we'd like to see. So if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, I'll read out this week's topics and we'll see what our panellists can come up with. OK, here we go. The first subject is unlikely greeting cards.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Sorry you're dead. What can you do?
Sorry you're leaving, and sorry to break it to you in such a cowardly fashion.
Happy Father's Day, whoever you are, wherever you are.
Roses are red, violets are red, the greenhouse is red. I think I'm bleeding to death.
At this difficult time, I'm thinking of you, wearing suspenders and a mask.
I saw this and thought of you. Blank inside.
My feelings can't be put into words, although the judge did describe them as inappropriate.
That was a scrape. Congratulations on your circumcision.
Congratulations, you did it. And we'll prove it. The Crown Prosecution Service.
It's a girl, not a woman, which is why you're going to prison.
With deepest sympathies for the loss of your grandmother. / happy housewarming!
You've passed away.
21 years, and this time you'll probably die in prison.
To our darling son, on your 21st birthday, now get the fuck out of our house.
Please help me. I'm trapped inside a North Korean card factory. Also, Iron Man says happy 4th birthday.
Roses are red, violets are blue. When you go down on me, please don't chew.
OK, the next topic is things you wouldn't hear on a science documentary.
The dinosaurs were wiped out by a giant asteroid. Silly them for all standing in the same place.
Does it burn anything other than Bunsen?
He named the star after himself, and now we find ourselves looking at Arthur Cockmonster III.
So, it glows in the dark and it has a half-life of 1,000 years. Frankly, I've never done a poo like it.
On today's show, we'll be talking about the Jurassic period, where only dinosaurs and Bruce Forsyth roam the earth. He's old, isn't he?
For Sarah Palin, it's conclusive proof that man and dinosaur existed together. For everybody else, the Flintstones is just a cartoon.
Next, biology. Why is that gorilla so sexy?
Let the proton see the electron.
Scientists in Loughborough have found the formula to make the perfect cup of tea, which is quite controversial as the grant was for AIDS research.
You've been watching me, Richard Dawkins. Good night and God bless.
See, and the problem with cocaine is it's well Moorish.
Well, we could ask a proper scientist about this, or we could ask Dara O'Brien.
Hello, my name's Dara O'Brien. And to try and bring science to the masses, I'm going to appear in a programme with Stephen Hawking wearing a ridiculous hat.
Just enough with the, you know... I love that hat, by the way.
Hello, I'm Dara O'Brien. And I've got a massive head and a massive brain. But all I get to do in this bit is just press a little button.
Mr. O'Brien, I award you a PhD. Phenomenal head, Dara.
I would just like to say that I think Dara O'Brien's a legend.
I work with Dara O'Brien. And today, my experiment is to turn this joke into a P45.
OK, well done, in at that. Point's got a run at you and Miles.
The first subject tonight is what a TV chef would never say.
So that's the bird plucked and stuffed. All that remains is to kill it.
Welcome to One Fat Lady.
And here, what you want to do is put a little bit of the brown mixture in the tin and then sprinkle a little bit of hash on the top of it.
Well, these Korean meatballs really are the dog's bollocks.
If you're wondering how to get the perfect skin on your parsnips, then you're mental.
Hello, I'm Delia Smith, and today we're going to cook a panda.
Am I invisible in this fucking jacket?
I think you...
So, I've marinated it for half an hour, seared it for 15 seconds, and now I'm drizzling it on my buttocks.
You just need two things to make this dish. What you need is a takeaway menu and a phone.
Tonight on Russian Cookery, cyanide, polonium, and a crab stuffed with explosives.
It's not going to be worth it now, is it?
We play a round called There's a Labour Party in My Pants and Everyone's Invited. This game involves Nish and Milton, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launched a wheel of news, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. And the first topic is health. Who's coming out? Nish.
I had a bit of a health emergency last year. I was doing the washing up and I cut my hand. I was washing up and I pushed my hand into a glass. The glass shattered and it slashed my hand here and I had to go to hospital. And let me tell you this, the NHS staff are incredible. They're really nice to me. They're really sweet. One of them called me a brave boy. Which is good because I was being one, so I don't know what you're laughing at, OK? I'm the one with the badge. Anyway, before I did that, I did something which I probably regret doing. I called NHS 111. Now, if you don't know what this service is, it's a service the government has brought in to replace NHS Direct. So if you have a non-life-threatening emergency, you're supposed to dial 111 on your phones. Now, I'm sure that these people are very nice, but based on my experience, they have proportionately less skill than their numerical value compared to 999, because it was the blind leading the blind. At one point, she said, "How is the blood?" And I said, "Red," because I had no idea. Then she said, "Is there a lot of blood?" I said, "Yes," because there was a lot of blood. And she said, "Is there enough to fill a mug?" I've got no idea. I don't wish to brag. I have a lot of different mug sizes in my house. Also, while this was happening, I was just panicking. I wasn't decanting the blood in that it could be poured back into my body at a later date. Then she said, "Is the blood flowing or oozing?" I said, "I have no idea what the difference is between those two things is." And she said, "Oh, there's a difference." I was like, "I'm not getting into a semantic debate with you while blood is gushing out of my hand." And she just went, "Gushing, thank you very much."
Well done, Miss Kumar. OK, that leaves us with Milton. Let's see what you've been left with. And the topic is transport.
When I was at school, my bike was smashed up. It was my own fault, really. I just handed out leaflets saying, "Bullying, let's break the cycle." "We've been over this again and again and again," said my driving instructor, pointing to the Badger. Apparently, there is actually a road in the north of England called Quality Street. And there's only one person living in it, and he's both Turkish and delightful. Tricky, isn't it, if you're both a moth and a sea captain? In charge of a ship. But up ahead, you see a lighthouse. You know you shouldn't. Toilets in trains are rubbish, aren't they? Especially the one right at the front, and the bloke in there gets so cross.
The points go to Nish. Come on back. The first subject is unlikely things to hear on radio.
You're listening to Radio U-Tree, the cream of the 1970s, broadcasting live from Pentonville.
This is Jazz FM. You're listening by mistake.
This is the breakfast news. The Prime Minister had porridge, the Home Secretary had muesli.
My piles are giving me so much bloody grief. No. You're listening to Smooth FM.
This is the Somali shipping forecast. Don't go out there!
This is Magic FM. Pick a frequency, any frequency.
F9 hit. A2 miss. C3 hit. That was the battle shipping forecast.
You're listening to Radio 3. Anyone? 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 Bueller?
Bueller.
On Talk Radio today, we've been discussing what a tosser Nick Clegg is. And now on the line, we've got David from Central London.
That was God Is Dead by Black Sabbath. You're listening to Vatican Radio.
And at number one this week, Jedward, proving that teenage girls cannot be trusted with money.
Well, I'm in the eye in the sky with the travel report. I've waited 20 years to file this particular report. If I look down, I can see red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow...
Don't touch that dial! I'm defrosting a pie.
Next up on Radio 1, Nick Grimshaw. He's not very good, but he's only 28, so he definitely didn't get up to anything in the 1970s.
Next, Ed Miliband lays out his policies in I'm sorry I haven't a clue.
It's now 10 p.m. on Radio 4. And before the news, here's 5 minutes of free porn.
Our next round is called Headliners. Here's a picture of Education Secretary Michael Gove. But what does GAEC stand for?
Is it Gove attends Elf College?
Genetic abnormality explains chin.
Amazing.
Is it something cock?
Is it Michael Gove saying, gosh, actual ethnic children?
Is it in fact what the kids have done to him? Glued arse to edge of chair.
Is it Gove Adonis, exuding charisma?
Is it adult literacy rates poor?
Gollum advises Earth children.
Is it Grindr adventure ends catastrophically?
OK, let's just give the correct answer, because frankly, nothing's going to top that.
Gove announced as emergency contraceptive.
Let's have the correct answer, please.
It's going to be something about Gove announces exam change.
Very good, thank you very much. You guys. The answer is £100 a day. What is the question?
Is it according to The Sun, how much does the average beggar make a day?
You're ruining by saying a day when it's already got a day in the answer.
Okay. Is it? Let me have another crack at that one.
Repetition of a day. Say it without a day and I'll watch.
What's happening?
Well, I was just about
Hang on
to.
a minute. Ed's turned into like the Microsoft paperclip. He's trying to write his letter. You're doing it wrong.
Are you doing a list?
According to The Sun, right, what does a beggar earn?
But we are apparently in the middle of a countryside crime wave. Have you seen this?
If I lived in the country, I'd be delighted if someone did a crime, because I'd be bored out of my mind. Thank God you've turned up with a shotgun to steal my rhubarb. Could you kill me on the way out?
Some bloke sold rhubarb from an allotment. You have to
tag it.
Just
Why don't they tag it?
Imagine the phone call. Just some deranged. They've taken it. It's gone. My prize-winning marrow. Is there no God? You have.
Surely you could just put rhubarb down his sleeves and then go.
Had I been there, well, you can't ever feel sorry for the. That's the lowest rung of criminality, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Let me finish. Just. I'm going to kill myself here.
Beautiful. Vintage Mock the Week. He brought up the subject just so someone else could do a joke on it. Surely he might have been working towards a punchline. You ignorant.
Jesus.
I think could we get a higher chair for the joke umpire?
I have a feeling the Microsoft paperclip's taking some cocaine. But... I like it.
That's great. Little animation of the paper go. Yeah. Good, yeah. That's a really good letter.
The point I was going to make is, surely, right, fellas, but surely, if you're a bank robber, you're sexy, you're dangerous, you can get diamonds for your lover. If you steal from allotments, what hope have you got, you know? You've got dirt underneath your fingernails. All you have to offer is broccoli. You know?
Hey, a woman who's going to have sex for broccoli is going to be dirty.
I was wondering if one of the reasons they were trying to steal...
Wouldn't that be... Hang on, sorry to interrupt you, Andy, but wouldn't that be the...
Frankly, I wish to go on the record and say I have now lost control.
This is the news that IPSA review body has proposed a rise in MPs' pay to around £74,000 a year, an increase of 9% on their current salary of around £66,000. Should they get a pay rise?
No.
Why?
Well, because it's easy for me to score points with the audience by saying no.
OK.
£8 grand's hardly enough to put a secret love child through private school.
It's not like football, is it? In football, you have to stop other countries nicking your best players. It's not like governments are trying to nick our politicians, is it? Cameron's going to be out like, I've said no to Spain, they can't have Gove. Do you know what I mean? They're trying to buy him.
I feel quite sorry for MPs, because people all think that all MPs are money-grabbing bastards. But they're not all money-grabbing.
Ed Miliband has said that he's going to stop any Labour MPs having a second job by the next election. But, of course, by then, a lot of them won't have a first job, will they?
They get 15 quid a day food allowance for lunch.
Yes, they do. And
that's like free Subway sandwiches. That's free footlongs. That's 36-inch of sandwich. That is too much for anyone. You can wear it as a belt.
George Osborne looks like he could take 36 inches.
I don't think the voucher is exclusively for Subway.
That's what I've been told.
Yeah. So it's just like, this is only redeemable at the Parliament Subway. And the queue is really long. This is one Subway guy making...
It's the travel stuff, right? They're being restricted on taxis. They're not going to be allowed to use taxis anymore. Not going to be allowed to use taxis. Where are Tory MPs going to get their ideas if they're not allowed to take taxis?
David Cameron is so basically like a taxi driver. I'm surprised he doesn't stand with his back to the dispatch box going, I'll tell you the country's problem. It's immigration. That's the problem with this country.
They never have proper second jobs, do they? It's always like a posh sort of business role. It's never just like... Because I used to work in a market and in a pub. Do you know what I mean? Like, my dad used to be a carpet fitter and on the dole. Do you know what I mean? They've always got posh...
What's made police officers in Sussex angry this week?
Oh, this is fantastic. There's a leaflet out telling them how to wear their uniform. Genuinely true, this. Apparently they've been told you've got to put your socks in and tuck your shirt in and then you'll catch the paddies. This is... Guys, there are policemen in West Sussex walking around like this. We're going to get the bad man. Any second now, we're going to get the bad man, you know? I think it's great. I think we should do more patronising leaflets for them, you know? Wouldn't that be great?
Left leg, then right leg. Yeah. Then left leg. Quicker if he's running away from you.
But wouldn't that be great if it's really patronising? Going undercover does not mean turning up with a duvet on your head.
This is how it was reported in Metro. These are the photographs they showed. My favourite bit is your utility belt should only contain items issued by the Force.
A lightsaber,
basically. A lightsaber. Only a lightsaber.
Oh, that'd be great if you just had a tiny Yoda. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Actually, that sounds like a euphemism for a penis.
I have one. What else are they keeping in the utility belt? What else are they doing?
Mace.
Oh, I got some breath mints and some lube. Mind you, lube would be useful enough. I can get you out of the crash car, but you will smell of sexy cherry for a while.
It's also saying the correct way to be a policeman is to be 2/3 of the size.
But
much it costs you.
Yeah, smaller policeman, easier to dress.
I know that your PPV, which I think is personal protection vest, I think it's like the anti-stab vest, must be worn over your shirt. Now, I can see what the problem is here, because I'd imagine lots of them wore them under the shirt, so that people go, oh my God, you've been stabbed, and they go, no! Yes, the answer I was looking for was Blair's memoirs, incredible sales. This is a story that ex-Prime Minister Tony Blair has finally published, A Journey, his hotly anticipated account of his time in power.
He's basically, he'd been accused of sexing up a dossier, and now he has sexed up a dossier. You went after he's going, oh, I devoured Cherie, or whatever it was. You weren't sure what he was going to put next, I flopped out my weapon of mass destruction. And 45 minutes later, it launched.
What weakness does Blair reveal?
Mini baby bells. He can't get enough of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
No, he's drinking. It was really hilarious because he said, I was a bit of a drinker, but all he had was half a bottle of wine a night. My mate once got so drunk he woke up in a river.
This would be the worst AA meeting ever. It'd be so dull as well, because the other... OK, tell us about yourself. Well, Duncan's basically, he's lost his kids, he's found himself homeless on the street. How about you, Tony? Well, first of all, hi, guys. Occasionally, I have a second glass of wine after dinner. Group hug.
Although, in fairness, his drinking did lead to invading a country.
Which makes the UN the international equivalent of a woman in a car park going, leave him, Tarek, he's not worth it!
The UN made him the Middle East peace envoy after he'd started 2 wars in the Middle East. It would be like making the woman who chucked that cat in a wheelie bin an RSPCA inspector. As Prime Ministers go, it's nothing, isn't it? Churchill used to have a bottle of champagne for lunch, have another one apparently in the evening, have 3 scotches, 2 brandies and a highball. So you think, well, it's no wonder he didn't want to appease Hitler, was it? He was well up for a scrap, wasn't he?
Yeah, but to be fair, what people forget about Churchill, when Churchill was doing the we shall fight them on the beaches, he was 25 at the time. That lifestyle, he died at 32. That lifestyle really...
I'm surprised he didn't go, we're going to fight them on the beaches and we'll fight them in the pubs, outside the pubs, in the kebab shops.
If they look at our women, we'll twat them there.
We're at the late-night garage and we want more fags.
Churchill, that he said later in life his greatest regret was never winning the Second World War. Didn't remember a thing.
He also, let's be honest, he looked quite like you.
And you are...
as an insult.
Say it in that. No, he did. I'd say that as a compliment.
Yeah, Try you would take it as a compliment. He was a
we will fight them
man.
on the beaches. Yeah. Say that.
We will fight them on the beaches.
Don't sound like the Churchill dog.
That was Tommy Cooper. We will fight them. Waddy.
Tommy Cooper.
That's who is that, Goose?
I don't know who that is, but I think they've usually got a carer with them.
Say this. Never in the field of human conflict.
I'm not doing Churchill impersonations for you.
Do it sexy. Do sexy Churchill.
Sexy Churchill. I will fight you on the beach.
I've actually eaten dead badger roadkill.
Have you?
Really?
Yeah, Shall I tell you what it tasted of?
What's the taste of?
Badger. No, I have. I had a meal of badger. I had otter in a meal called risotto. And I had blackbird, rather, in a pie.
Oh, God.
It was really nice.
Is this when you were working in nursery rhymes?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I did for a programme.
What programme was that? Let's make you eat weird shit.
It was a programme where you had to do things that you'd never done, and I said I'd never had roadkill, so I ate roadkill.
But hang on, I know the programme you mean. It's a programme where you're supposed to do things you've never done that other people have done, though. It was called Never Seen Star Wars, and then you were just slightly out of step with the population. You're not out of step with the population with having never eaten roadkill. I don't think that's what, he's never eaten roadkill? We're got a Lord Snooty over here. Fished his dinner off the tarmac once in a while.
No, it was nice.
In an effort to cheer up the badger, Paul Gascoigne was seen in the area with an empty bottle of Cava, a can of Spam, and a Savage Garden CD.
That's an example, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whenever they show fat people on the news, they never show their faces, do they? They always show them from the middle area. And you're thinking, if we're really trying to lose weight, maybe they should show their faces and go, look at this one!
Look at this one. This is your policy. You're shaming of the obese. This one is very fat. Chase them! Chase them with sticks! And if they will not run, put Mars on the end of the stick and dangle it. Run them around in a circle like a horse training for dressage. Just slowly around and around the circle.
The point is, the supermarkets are saying we're doing everything to try and help people be healthier, and you think, no, they're not. The supermarkets couldn't care less. If they really cared about our health, they would give us trolleys which were harder to push to give us a cardiovascular workout, and they'd make the chocolate and biscuit aisle only a foot wide so fat people couldn't get...
You know the news. Why are Druids celebrating at the moment?
They're officially a religion.
Yes, they are.
It's a great... They've officially... But granted, by the Charities Commission, they are now officially a religion, which makes you wonder what the problem was before, that they weren't, I don't know, wishy-washy enough to be a religion. Like, well, what do you worship? Nature. Nah, nature exists.
If they are legally now a religion, that presumably means they can set up faith schools.
Be fantastic.
There'd be Druidic schools. Like, you'd have to move to the Stonehenge catchment area to get your child to a really good one. And it'd be the only school in the world where pupils would be actively encouraged to draw naked men with a big cock and ball.
You have all these middle-class parents trying to forge a letter from the local Wiccan shaman.
I once had a Druid who came to work in my garden, which is a bit weird. But he was 3 hours late one day to work in the garden, and it was the most brilliant excuse I've ever heard. He said, I would apologise for being late, but I'm afraid I don't believe in the concept of time.
Did you not point out that you were paying him by the hour?
I did, yeah.
The school I went to in Wiltshire is the site of Merlin's Mound, so it's like a big... on the solstice, all these Druids used to go there, and we used to obviously rip the piss out of them. And it was brilliant, because it happened every year. They were out, I'd be doing, like, science, and there'd be all these Druids, like, wailing and throwing their sticks in the air and shit like that. And we'd all be taking the piss. And one year, my teacher, a man that I respected, I was taking the piss out of all the Druids, and he said, Whitehall, I don't know why you're laughing. You know they like to sacrifice virgins.
Boom! Unbelievable. Tough work. We gotta book that guy. Yeah. Good. Why has health and safety been in the news this week?
Because Cameron says he's going to get rid of it.
Yes. Which came a little bit too late for BP.
Yeah.
It's a stupid thing to do, to try and get rid of health and safety, because essentially we have evolved ourselves out of a position where we have any natural predators. The only natural predators humans have are ourselves and peanuts. We're doing the best because we're stupid. Health and safety is getting in the way of evolution. 10,000 people last year in this country were admitted to A&E having injured themselves putting their trousers on. Right? They're firing themselves out of cannons into their trousers. They caught themselves in the zip, right? Which is hideous, yes, but at least they can't breed anymore. That is evolution, and health and safety will stop that.
Imagine making that phone call, though. Oh! Got my dick in my trousers, and I want to sue. My trousers.
My old teacher's mate was testing some reinforced concrete cages. You know, reinforced concrete is cages with concrete covering it, and they show you the cage out the back. And he jumped off backwards, being a bit of a lad, and split up the front of himself, and didn't notice until a couple of seconds later when his bollocks fell out of his jeans. He drove himself to hospital, right? Holding his balls in one hand and putting them on his lap to change gear. He got to the A&E, and the woman said, "How can I help you?" And he went...
I bet there was somebody sat in A&E just eating a Scotch egg, like...
I bet there's somebody in the A&E with a slightly hurt elbow going, I'm going to be longer than I thought now. I've been moved down by Mr. Hear Me Balls. There
was an incredible story about, well, it's not incredible, but about health and safety, that trainee hairdressers aren't allowed scissors. Which is pretty... Imagine that. What are they going to do? Just use their teeth? This is Sandra, she's going to chew your perm out.
the news. Which celebrity's voice has been voted top in a recent survey to find the nation's favourite Satnav voice?
I think you're overselling this, but is it Sir Sean Connery?
It's supposed to be Sir Sean Connery, yes. There was some sort of poll.
Tell us about it, Dara.
Yeah, I don't really want to tell you about it. Who did he beat in second place?
He beat Dara.
He beat me. He beat me in second place.
That's it. And who was in third place? George Clooney.
Yeah,
eh?
yeah, I beat Clooney. Yeah. Thank you. And he is gutted.
And Dara, how long has your mother been running these surveys? Why would you want Dara on your sat-nav? Well, never stop. You'd be like, turn left here, turn left, turn left. You want to turn left. You want to turn left. You want to get there, you have to turn left. You have to turn left there. You're going to What do you do, Brendan? What do you do? What do you do? You want to go straight over the end, but that's the second exit.
Yeah. My great problem is that I haven't been living here that long. I'm about to go, no, I don't know where that is, actually.
Dara, do you know why I think you should have won? Because your name is an anagram of I Road Brain. Your name is an anagram
of
I Road Brain. I Road Brain.
I a Road Brain.
Yeah, Mickey's looking forward to Carol Vorderman's warm-up act.
You know, I've not got a lot on at the moment.
This sounds a bit clang. I once got an email from Stephen Fry telling me that he was sitting in an airport in Africa, and did I know my surname was an anagram of Nairobi? It's very difficult to want to write back. Thanks, Stephen.
You're very much mistaken if you think that sounds like a clanger. That sounds like a clanger.
OK, thank you. The end of that. Stop being noises.
Sorry? Where's the soup dragon?
The question I was looking for was, how much time has Delhi had to prepare for the crisis-hit Commonwealth Games, which reports claim are still not ready? The city won the right to host the Games in 2003, but the build-up to the event has been plagued by fears that facilities and accommodation might not be complete on time and to a safe standard. So what's been going wrong?
Well, the ceiling of the weightlifting area collapsed. I mean, that's fantastic, isn't it? And there he is. He's holding up 200 kilograms and the roof!
Did you do what they had removed from one of the rooms in the athletes' village?
A snake.
A snake, a cobra, was in one of the bedrooms in South Africa. And they said, I don't know why you're worried. We gave you a basket and a small horn. You play the horn and the cobra will go back into the basket. A cobra! That's a valid safety complaint, surely.
But it's a double whammy as well. You get bitten by a cobra, they give you an anti-venom, and then they disqualify you for having an illegal substance in your bloodstream.
What animals have been brought in?
Camels.
No, not camels, no.
Penguins.
Not penguins.
Bears.
No, monkeys.
Is it a narwhal?
It's not a narwhal. Stop naming random animals, right?
Is it a muskrat?
It's not a muskrat. I've already said the word monkeys while you carried on naming.
Is it monkeys?
It's monkeys. Well done, yeah. OK, at the end of that round, what the hell? Points for everyone. Come on back, come on back. Get up. How exhausted were you?
Can I do it without falling?
Yeah, you can do it without falling.
The gate is falling.
What?
It's not earpiece, it's 4 minutes.
4 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, really? All this time have they been shouting? Oh, that's fantastic.
From underneath, they'll be going...
I thought it was elves saying...
Post! This is just introduction to old age for you.
Yeah. Hi.
Next, you'll be losing your hair.
So, the police have been probably... Stop it. We are genuinely filming this shit. Could you stop throwing stuff? I know it seems, that you're not... I know this bit isn't all about you, but don't break open the sweets just yet, all right? OK. Where the police were having problems with the e-fit technology?
It was rude.
OK. Half of the performers weren't eating bananas.
Hey, hey with the monkeys.
Yeah. So, seriously, you'd like the bananas to pause just for a second? Yeah. OK.
I'm just with a banana shell.
Jared, we'll get a banana. Oh, we'll get you some grapes. What? Some greengrocers are we fucking turning into here?
Sorry.
My mouth. Oh, get it fucking down. Don't fucking hug me. Come on. No Russell Howard tonight, as he's off working on the next series of his own show for the BBC Three. But we start with a round called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question?
You said the BBC Three.
Shut up.
You did say the BBC Three.
Shut up, I'd like to get out of here at some stage
Well,
tonight.
maybe you shouldn't have fucked up then.
Shut up.
Maybe you should have said either the BBC or BBC Three.
I call it...
says the BBC Three.
I call it the BBC Three, right? I say...
Are you a big fan of the Oasis?
He's going to be shit as a Satnav, isn't he? Turn the right.
I touched the mic. They told me off before for touching the mic, so you'll...
She told you off for touching Mike.
No. It's all wrong. Sorry, I just don't want to ruin... I don't want to ruin everything.
That has made all the difference.
Yeah, that's better.
I'm going home.
Sorry, Hugh.
Milk, bread, germaloids. I believe I have been reading from the wrong piece of paper.
I like to see myself as a perfect compromise between Ed Balls and David Miliband. I am David Milliballs.
Right then, conference, it's time to choose our new leader using the traditional method. Professor Dumbledore, pass me the sorting hat.
OK, the next topic is things you wouldn't hear in a cookery show.
No, that's definitely a poodle.
Today, I brought along chicken tonight, but I'm going to have it tomorrow. Smash the system.
So finally, just pour on the milk, and there you have it. Cereal.
And remember, you must eat the brain to get their power.
A lot of people recommend washing your hands after handling raw meat, but it's just as easy to let a dog lick them or to wipe them on a relative.
Golden, relax. We're doing a bit of dinner, mate. You're not sorting out the Middle East here.
So just boil for 15 minutes, and if there's still life in her, she's a witch.
Welcome to It's Late and There's Not Much Left in the Fridge. Today we're going to be making onion double cream banana pasta ketchup.
The unique flavour of the sausages is from a recipe from my wife.
So, if you want to give your bar snacks that genuine pub feeling, why not sprinkle them with urine?
I'm Jamie Oliver, and in my new series, I'm going to be travelling the length and breadth of the UK in a VW camper. Welcome to Cock O' Van.
Start with a round call. If this is the answer, what is the question? On the board are 6 categories. Gina, which category would you like?
Entertainment news.
OK, entertainment news. The answer is 50 nights. What is the question?
Is it how long does it take me to successfully build an IKEA wardrobe?
Is it if an MP spent one night in a hotel, how many nights would he claim for?
Is it how much of a start was Stephen Hawking given at this year's London Marathon?
Oh,
and so it begins!
The show has been going 10 seconds.
how many nights per year does the Queen sneak away to do karaoke? under the alias of Big Mama.
Is it how many late shifts would you have to do at B&Q before you came to dismiss life as a grotesque pantomime?
Is it dogs often go to fetch help when their master is in trouble? How long would you have to be lying dead before your cat gave a shit?
How long has Jackie Smith's husband been sleeping in the conservatory?
Is it how long would it take Nick Park to film a Wallace and Gromit porno? Is it...
Yeah, I like that. Only working at night.
Yeah.
How long did it take Lady Gaga to perfect tucking her penis between her legs?
Is it which themed disco evenings have the most restrictive age policy? 50 nights. No? Is it?
Is it how long before we get the right answer to this one?
Yeah. I think I've got the right answer.
No, don't do that. I haven't done a funny one yet. Stick around, right? Is it generally speaking what separates 51 days? You don't have to be rude.
Is it the number of nights that Michael Jackson was going to play the O2 Arena?
It is, of course, absolutely. Thank you very much, Dan. Okay, the next topic is commercials that never made it to air.
I wipe my ass with Colgate. And now, I've got a ring of confidence.
If it tastes like butter and spreads straight from the fridge, you've probably had a power cut.
Condoms. Because if she'd sleep with you, she'd sleep with anyone.
Ryanair. Because I'm worth shit.
As leader of the Labour Party, I always like to look my best. It's very important to me to have a smooth finish, which is why I use the Mach 4. As I often say, that was a close shave, wasn't it, Gromit?
Frosties, they're all right.
New BG from Garnier. Exfoliates, hydrates, epilates, urinates. Probably not that last one.
Unlimited minutes, unlimited text, unlimited music downloads. Yes, it's our new twat on a train tariff.
Have a break. Have a wank.
Maybe she's born with it. In which case, I probably shouldn't take the piss.
Bekele has to walk for 5 miles every day for fresh water. That's why she ought to be thinking about the new Mazda.
Coco Chanel. Says bloody horrible, I'm sticking to Horlicks.
Lidl. Because life didn't work out as you planned.
Hi, I'm Kevin Bacon, doing an ad on British TV. What happened?
Have you got that bloated, uncomfortable feeling in your stomach? Then try going for a shit.
The DFS furniture sale is not currently on.
This Christmas, get Mocked a Week on DVD, featuring all the regulars: Dara O'Brien, and through this week, Andy Parsons, Will, Milton Jones, and of course, don't forget Mickey Flanagan, East End of London, and of course, everybody very good, Chris Allison. Everyone, at the end of the line, the points of Alistair, Hugh, and Gary.
Unlikely things to hear on Question Time.
Allow me to answer your question with a question. Why don't you fuck off?
I'm going to take a question from a black man without mentioning that he's black. The man in the red jumper, please.
Do I believe the economy's in recession? Well, I believe it was Churchill who said, "Oh, yeah."
David Dimbleby, you haven't answered a question all night. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
A good question there. Is the BBC dumbing down? What do you think, Barry Chuckle?
Yes, my question is for Delilah. Why?
Welcome to Question Time, coming to you this week live from Spearmint Rhino.
Question time. Tonight we're in Norwich. Let's say hello to the audience. Look, men from Magic Picture Box. Go speaky, speaky.
Is the wrong answer, Charles Clark. Take off an item of clothing.
So, good question. Gordon Brown, why don't you shove your tax increases up your arse?
If your dog isn't here, Mr. Blunkett, who's sniffing my balls?
I have a question for Boris Johnson. Do you know where you are?
Is Britain becoming more misogynist? Let's ask this bitch.
At the end of that round, the points go to Russell, Ed and Andy. Now we come to scenes we'd like to see. So if everyone, please, can make their way to the performance area, I'll read out this week's topics, and then we'll see what our panelists can come up with. OK, here we go. The first subject is unlikely things to get through your letterbox.
Royal Mail parcel delivery. We called, you were in, so we ran away before you could answer.
Just £3 a month will save last year's X Factor winner from starving.
Do you know what's in your attic? It's me. I've been there since Christmas.
Have you seen this dog? No? Maybe your windows are too dirty. Oh, heaven, the window cleaner.
Are you looking for a dog walking service? Then call Ace Kebabs on 318-318.
Computer problems? Let me come round and swear at it.
Why has your girlfriend stopped changing near the window? Love, Dad.
Pizza. Buy one, pay full price.
How's my driving? Call 0800 crashed into your house.
Need a room clearing? Call me. I'll come round and fart in it.
Looking for an undertaker? Why not call Ace Kebabs on 318-318?
Hello, my name's Ashley Cole. Here's a picture of me naked.
Would you recognise a fake ID? No? Great, I'll be back in 10 minutes.
The Taj Mahal Indian restaurant, formerly Ace Kebabs.
Open your letterbox. It's me. I'll get through one day.
OK, that leaves us with Gary. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. OK, the topic is work.
I nearly lost my job as a roofer when I was caught masturbating on the first day. Yeah, luckily, my boss said I could wipe the slate clean. I used to work at Waterstones. One day, a guy came in asking if we had any audiobooks with subtitles. I thought, hang on, that's a book. The circus near me held a competition to find the best contortionist, so I entered myself and won. In my old job, I just used to punch buttons all day, and that's why I'm no longer allowed to work in panto. I've got 2 lawyers working for me at the minute. One's pro bono, and the other thinks he's a right pretentious twat. When my granddad was caught trying to stow away in the Merchant Navy, he offered to work his passage, which, as you can imagine, made him very popular. I hate people who phone me up just to complain about the weather, which is why I lost my job at Mountain Rescue. I was at a station the other day that had a piano on the platform, so I had a little tinkle on it, which saved me 30 pence. I went on a positive thinking course. It was shit. I bought a Microsoft Advent calendar. If you open too many windows at once, they all shut again for no bloody reason. Thank you.
Well done. Very good.
Oh, and big news, exciting news though for homeowners. Exciting news for
homeowners?
homeowners. Oh yeah, you can kill burglars now. I think that's the gist of it. I think that's it. I'm not sure. You can put bear traps around your house and hear Yelp in the middle of the night.
I think basically a slapstick rule should apply. If it goes, you're fine. If you kill the guy, not so much.
Yeah. You're allowed to be proportionate in your violence towards burglars, but not grossly proportionate. So, if what you're doing to the burglar could feature in one of the Saw movies.
You want to go with Laurel and Hardy films, ideally.
Exactly.
Try and, whack them by turning around with a ladder, a bucket on their head.
Who has received a hero's welcome at the conference?
Batman!
Yes, the bit where Batman came. No, not Batman.
Oh, Boris.
Boris Johnson.
Boris Johnson said he wanted to be tough on crime. And this was after, apparently, he's had 6 bikes nicked. And you're wondering, has he really had 6 bikes nicked? Or 6 times he just hasn't got a clue where he in fact left them?
What was the hero's welcome? What did they do for him?
So they kind of clapped. It wasn't like they threw rose petals or anything like that. They were just very happy to see him.
Well, a hero's welcome. You know, in Aladdin, when he's on the elephant, and it's, hey, clear the way in the old bazaar. Hey, you, let us through. It's a bright new star. Oh, come be the first on the block to meet his eye. You're gonna love this guy. That... That's the hero's welcome.
I defer to your definition of a hero's welcome. At no point did Boris arriving on, near, or confusingly like an elephant.
They also gave him, like they give everyone at the Tory Party conference, they gave him a 2-minute standing ovation. That's what they give absolutely everyone, whatever they've said. It makes perfect sense. It's 30 seconds of clapping and a minute and a half for most of them to stand up.
Do you need a hat? Come on, I can do this.
Imogen bracket over there.
Yeah.
Okay. In other news, outside the party conference, what have hospital patients been asked to rate?
They have been asked to rate, apparently, exactly how good the A&E departments are. The question is, would you recommend this A&E department to your friends and family? I mean, what are you going to say to them? Oh, well, don't worry, you've had an accident. You're going to St Mark's, and that's got a cracking A&E.
It's the beginning of Casualty. Wasn't it? Just a man falling off his shed onto his garden rake and then crawling to his laptop to go on TripAdvisor.
Or just come home to your partner, square up and go, I'm going to send you someplace nice.
Well, I've never heard domestic violence put quite as charmingly as that. Yes, I know that they put don't know in. There's extremely likely, need or likely, no unlikely, likely, extremely don't know. Don't ask the people with concussion. How would you rate it? Cabbage? Banana? Mummy? Cabbage?
The people who give the lowest rating are dead. So the results are going to be unavoidably skewed.
It's going to be a very awkward conversation when they go, I'm sorry, we've lost him. Do you think he was satisfied with the result?
Now we come to scenes we'd like to see. So if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, I'll read out this week's topics and then we'll see what our panelists can come up with. OK? Here we go. The first subject is things you'd never read in the Bible.
Eve took the apple. Bollocks, she said. He hasn't got a headphone jack.
And it had all been a dream.
And in the beginning, there was the Word, and the Word was good, but it wasn't compatible with Max.
And after the Last Supper came the last argument about who had a starter.
Oh, I should have known it would be you with a name like bloody Judas.
And so it rained for 40 days and 40 nights, and Noah said, next year we holiday abroad.
I have 5 loaves and 2 fishes, he said. Who wants cod in breadcrumbs?
Jesus handed out cans of Dr. Pepper and said, drink this in remembrance of me. That's right, my full name is Dr. Jesus Pepper.
People who enjoyed this book also enjoyed the Quran and the Torah.
There was stress in the Garden of Eden. Adam wanted to leave, but Eve had voted remain.
This book has been rated 18 due to graphic violence, moderate threat and homophobia.
God is love. The devil is 40. Match point.
And most importantly of all, thou shalt not board the train until other people have alighted the train.
When Jesus saw all of the tables outside of the church, he went mental and started smashing everything up because he hated fates and had lost all of his money on the Guess the Weight of the Cake competition.
There is but one commandment greater than these. Secure the talent before you buy the bake-off.
Thou shalt not steal, unless from the self-service checkout.
You all do it.
Birthday cards, no wait, is there?
No, actually, my mum couldn't have done that because she's a virgin.
The animals came in 2 by 2, for 'twas Orange Wednesday.
OK, the next topic is Lines you wouldn't hear in a James Bond film.
Sorry, mate, this is Spoons. We don't do martini. Do you want to jug a woo-woo?
We've invented you a new phone bond. It's exactly the same as the old phone, but you need to buy a new charger.
We've got the latest news on Thunderball 007. No one won last week, and it's a rollover.
Ah, Mr. Bond. Welcome to this mandatory course on sexual harassment in the workplace.
Hi, the name's Bond. It's not actually 007, they're zeros. Otherwise, I'd be called, ooh, 7.
Oh, Mr. Bond, I'm very flattered by your advances, but you are a complete stranger. You work for my enemy, and I am menstruating very heavily.
Bond, meet your children, 005, 003 and 0018 months.
You want my full name, of course. It's Bond. James, Skipton Building Society, fixed rate, 1 year, Bond.
So another gadget, Bond. This is a way of distracting your opponents. Some light-up trainers for no reason.
Mr. Bond, I have one question for you. Does this testicle look swollen?
So, Mr. Bond, welcome back. How was Russia? How do you feel? Do you know what? Rested.
Mr. Bond, we just want to check that you understand how to use the new equipment. You know you can swipe left, don't you?
Blofeld? No, I've never even met Felt.
This is the easiest fight on top of a train I've ever had. Thank you, Southern Rail.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! I've got a girlfriend. No, thank you.
The point goes James here and Gary. We start with a round called Headliners. Here's a picture of the spectacular opening to the Olympic Games. But what does BGMC stand for?
Is it British Gas Managers Celebrate?
Is it British Games Much Crapper?
Is it Bottled Gas Meets Cigarette?
I know this one, actually. It's Barry George, Merry Christmas.
Is it Badger's Grenade Mouse Compound?
That's a very large mouse compound, isn't it? I didn't know the mice were capable of that, and it's all gone to nothing because of the badger's attack.
I didn't know the badgers were capable of that. That's appalling. They grenaded it,
The
for
thing
God's
is,
sake. This is truly an escalation.
The thing is, Dara, you anger a badger, it will do anything. I saw a pensioner punch a badger in the face. Within seconds, no skin.
Well, I understand that, but I mean, the badger going and sourcing grenades is the bit I find particularly
I'll be honest with you, it was a joke. I'm now being held accountable for some...
Let me get this straight. You anger a badger to make it do anything? Because for years I've been playing them Barry White and...
We once had a badger run over outside the house.
You had him run over?
No,
What
no,
kind
no.
of...
No.
Yeah.
There was a badger.
What kind of butler have you got?
A badger
Have
was...
him run over
Yeah.
for me.
No.
We shall sit in a throne and watch this.
You're like the godfather of the vermin world.
A badger was run over outside the house, and my parents were staying, and this badger obviously had to be killed, put down, to put it out of its pain. And all my father could find was a big stick. So he went outside and he had to hit the badger repeatedly with this big stick. And this is remembered by my son
Because it was explained to me like this: as the time Grandad made the badger better with the stick.
Are you sure that's actually
what's the
what
badger?
happened?
At the point the badger has been run over, and then this old guy comes up and tries to finish it off with a stick.
It freaks my dad out, actually, thinking about it. It's horrible.
Your dad gets badger flashback.
Just big black and white and white and black and black and white and then red, black, white, red all over.
Turn off Wind in the Willows. Turn off Wind in the Willows.
Things a sport commentator would never say.
8 no balls in a row. You join us for the women's 100-metre final.
Rory McIlroy is on the green. He holds the baby lamb aloft. This is for an eagle.
They think it's all over. It is now. I'm dead.
And the Russian champ beginning her floor routine now. Running, big jump, and a tumble, and a little tumble, and then rolling around, and then a bit of swirling. To be honest with you, I normally do the darts.
Joe Root's up now for England. He's quite cute, isn't he? He could spend a couple of hours at my crease.
And at the end of that match, it's 0-0. But it doesn't matter because both teams are just such lovely people.
Well, there are 3 horses in it. This is the worst sausage I've ever had.
And the Ferrari crosses the line in the worst case of cheating the London Marathon has ever seen.
Welcome to the Monaco Grand Prix. And yes, they do all sound a lot like bees.
Well, Gary and I are in the commentary position. If you want to know where that is, it's on page 32 between missionary and wheelbarrow.
Shock news as FIFA awards the 2022 World Cup to the Islamic State.
Say what you like about these cyclists, but boy, do they know their drugs.
The referee there taking down Ronaldo's number. Not really the time or the place, but good to see we've kicked homophobia out of football.
And as is traditional, the leader of the Tour de France now awarded with the yellow jersey to remind him what colour his piss is supposed to be.
15:30 in a chat room. It's so difficult to tell.
Incredible delivery from Serena Williams. The baby came out in 7 minutes and she didn't even shit herself.
Oh, that is long, very long. I'll put it away now and get on with the comment.
The next topic is unlikely things to hear on a history documentary.
Now follows a documentary about the Queen Mother, which contains nudity and strong language from the start.
And it was here, at this exact spot that faced with 30,000 baying Frenchmen, that Henry V shat himself.
On the first day of the Battle of the Somme, over 60,000 documentaries were commissioned.
I was in the parachute regiment. I was dropped over occupied territory. 4,000 feet, 3,000, 2,000. I pulled the cord. My cagoule tightened.
2 World Wars and 1 World Cup. Doodah.
And it was actually here, in this very tower, that the princes were slaughtered. William on Red Bull and vodka and...
1547. Nostradamus predicts the rock group the Kaiser Chiefs. He also predicts a riot.
On one side of battle stood William of Orange. On the other side, Charles of O2 and Richard of Vodafone.
The final outcome of the Second World War has changed the world forever. So, if you don't want to know the result, look away now.
Next, Eva Braun, the inventor of the lady shave.
So it was my job to assassinate Himmler. So I stood behind the tree and waited for his car to come round the corner. Then I leapt out and I said, "Boo!" Sometimes all we had was the element of surprise.
Napoleon was imprisoned in St Helena, which was extremely uncomfortable for her. Her head was pointed, and he never took his boots off.
The Loch Ness Monster. Fact or fiction? Fiction. Good night.
Of course, during the war, I was brought up in Dorset. None of us expected the surprise Japanese attack on Poole Harbour.
At the end of that round, the points go to David, Hugh and Milton. The answer is 600 metres. What is the question?
Is it, if Kelvin Mackenzie was to do a bungee jump from a height of 500 metres, what length rope should he be given?
Is it, in fact, what head start would I need if I was competing against Usain Bolt in the 100 metres?
Is it simpler than that? Is it how big are some trees, Dara?
No trees are 600 metres.
Is it, in fact, the distance that they were taking shots of Kate topless?
That is absolutely right. Thank you very, very much, Andy. Yes, the question I was looking for was, from what approximate distance did a photographer take pictures of the Duchess of Cambridge sunbathing topless? This is the news that the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge have taken legal action against French magazine Closer, which has printed topless photographs of Kate. It's called, I don't know, the French call it Closer for some reason. We have a French woman working the show, and I'm going, sure, it's Closet. She goes, no, Closer. A French court has blocked future publication of the pictures in France, but they've already been published in Italy and Ireland.
There's loads of royals who've been snapped naked, haven't they? Obviously Harry, you know, now Kate, then we had Andrew before that, Charles before that, Countess of Wessex. I mean, there have been, in fact, so many of them, I think they should persuade a few more of them to do it, and then they could release a charity calendar.
The thing is, isn't it? It's terrible, it's unjustifiable, it's immoral, but I quite want to see the pictures.
Are you saying you haven't seen them yet?
I haven't. I've seen fuzzy versions of them on the...
I think they're all fuzzy. Pictures were taken from the Hubble telescope.
From the Hubble telescope.
What I found intriguing was I think, I don't know what everyone was, I was certainly waiting for the next time she appeared in public to see if she would acknowledge what had happened to the cameras. And she didn't. She just did the same smile that she always does. Because if someone had photographed my meat and 2 veg, I probably would have come out and gone...
I think the whole thing is just making a mountain out of 2 molehills.
That's a
good point.
I'd probably be better, I think, the BBC preferred if we didn't descend into judging the woman's breasts. That would be the incorrect direction.
I think she's annoyed because, and every woman's had this on holiday, because I've looked at the photos, and they're at that awkward angle. When you're topless, you've got to stay at a certain position or it's not attractive, and she's in that reaching for the sun cream position. That's what she's annoyed about. You know, we've all got those photos, like my Uncle Terry, where he popped out of his shorts.
But do you think...
We've all got those bad holiday photos.
I didn't see that edition of Closer. Joe's Uncle Terry pops out of the shops and his shorts.
Do you think she's genuinely worried about it, though? Don't you think there's just one tiny... Well, do you think there's just one tiny bit of her that's thinking, yeah, where's my sister's arse now, then, eh?
To their credit, no British newspaper editors have published the picture, although they have all had a proper think about it. But the massive hypocrisy of it is astonishing. The Sun, I like it when the Sun gets on its high horse about something. It said, well, no responsible paper would touch this with a barge pole. 2 weeks ago, you were doing everything you could to show us Harry's barge pole.
Which publications have printed the photographs?
Closer.
The Irish Daily Star,
The Irish Daily
because
Star.
she's not your future queen.
Well, that was the Irish Daily Star thing. There's an Italian magazine called Key and the Irish Daily Star both publish it, but they give very different excuses, right? The Italian excuse is very... But they are young and they are beautiful and they are in love. And the Irish Daily Star was, she's not our queen.
Yeah.
But when they publish photos like that, and there are always photos like that, not of the royals, but they're, you know, kind of topless photos in magazines shot with a long lens, they are always of, there's kissing and cuddling in the pool, and then they're putting sun cream on each other. And these are meant to be sexy, erotic. There's nothing less erotic than putting sun cream on your partner's back, is there? It's just something you have to do. Yeah. And the reason you have to do it is because you can't put sun cream on your own back, so you've got to reach a deal with the person who's going to do it. That's all, isn't it? That's all it is.
I was photographed on a holidays once by Papt, yeah. I was taking a holiday and I was doing exactly that. And the pictures, if you saw them, they were quite shocking. But and it was an intrusion.
That wasn't on holiday, was it, Dara?
No, there was no holiday.
It was in our house, wasn't it, Dara?
Where do we get
the least erotic thing I've ever seen?
Where does a guy in the office find the source photograph?
I believe he has your laptop.
Yes. What did David Cameron announce on Father's Day?
He announced that he wanted people to stigmatise runaway fathers in the same way that we stigmatise drunk drivers.
Yes.
He said that the best gift his dad ever gave him was optimism. Well, I was a pretty disappointed Christmas. In the family household. Was it? Not optimism. I said Optimus Prime. Transformer, Dad.
It was the timeliness of it, like on Father's Day. Is this going to be like, is every major, you know, Hallmark card anniversary, is he going to announce another Halloween, my new policy, no tricks, just treats?
He did say, though, didn't he? He said, basically, his father getting up early and then coming back very late at night, having done a hard day's work, was basically made a profound impression on him. And you're thinking, if you had a little David Cameron, wouldn't you spend a lot of time outside in the car smoking, waiting for his bedroom light to go off?
Who says, like, that the women want them back in the first place? Has anyone even considered that? It's bad enough being in a long-term relationship. I mean, it's miserable. No, honestly, I know what I'm talking about. I have kids. It's awful. And you know, kids just want some peace sometimes, because me and my ex, we were together a long time. We used to argue all the time. And for a long time, I was like, but if I leave him, he might go out there and meet somebody else and actually be happy. And so I stayed out of spite.
It was an unfair attack by David Cameron, really. I mean, he just stigmatised the whole group. Just because you father a child out of wedlock, you run away, take no responsibility for that child and never see them, does not mean that you're not Mayor of London.
There are also lots of points, aren't there, when children want their parents to be absent. I mean, I love my parents very much, but for me, that was when, as a teenager, they used to take a cat for a walk on a lead. On holidays, we used to take a cat for a walk on a lead, And it wasn't just the lead, it was a 30-foot washing line. And all of it went over Dartmoor, it went everywhere, this camp. And the embarrassing thing was, I got so embarrassed by it that I had to walk, you know, about 100 yards behind my parents. But that meant that you heard the comments of the people coming past them. And that is awful, awful for a teenage boy to be subjected to someone going, you see those people with the cat on the lead? I think they may just have been released back into the community.
Didn't your parents have a wheelie bin?
They had a wheelie bin. I spent the first 6 years of my life in it.
Did you still have washing on the lead?
No.
2 birds with 1 stone. That'd be fantastic. Yeah. In fact, put a bird on the lead and the cat could have chased it.
Now we come to our final quickfire round called Scenes We'd Like to See. This is for everyone, so if you could all make your way over to the performance area, please. I call it ideas for scenarios we'd love to see, and the performers come in with their suggestions. The first subject is rejected first lines for the new Harry Potter book.
Harry thought of his magical adventures very differently now that he'd been diagnosed as a schizophrenic.
Don't you realise, Ron, said Harry, with our magic powers, we simply won't need Rehypnol.
Finishing in the cafeteria, Harry and Ron turned their wands on themselves. It's not as good as that one.
I am Lord Voldemort, and I am an alcoholic.
Grease the goat! Grease the goat! Grease the goat!
Harry stared at his own spectacles and thought, I can summon a centaur, but I can't fix my astigmatism.
I have earned more money than the Queen. I can't be arsed.
I'm sorry, Harry, said Ron. I thought you felt the same way.
Genital warts at Hogwarts, said Matron. What fun. And,
Harry wrapped the elastic round his arm and tapped the crook of his elbow, trying to get his vein up. Come on, you bastard, he said.
Something about the spell must have gone wrong, because one of Harry's testicles had turned into a scorpion.
It was October, and the beginning of Harry's 5th term at Feltham Young Offenders Institute.
Show us where Dumbledore touched you, said the judge. Show us on the doll.
The next topic is unhelpful things to say in a crisis.
I know, why don't we get the UN involved?
Statistically speaking, of course, in these circumstances, most of us will die.
Kumbaya, my lord.
I think this 14th century text adequately sums up what I want to say.
I know you're a hijacker, but I ordered a vegetarian meal.
I know this is probably the wrong time, but I've got an erection.
Women and children first, then I'll shag the men and the animals.
Give them all a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. At the end of that, we're going to give the points to Frankie, Hugh and Ed.
We start with a round called If This Is the Answer, What is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Zoe, which category would you like?
Politics, please.
OK, your category is politics. The answer is 50%. What is the question?
What is the name of 50 Cent's mathematician's brother?
Is it what does Heather Mills save on IMAC?
What is the most you'll have to pay for a sofa at DFS?
What is a bad answer to the phrase, how much do you love me?
Is it the percentage of Ant and Dec that is forehead?
Is it you're a 19-year-old Glaswegian male, how much of your life is left?
Is it if I entered an orgy covered in Marmite, what would be my success rate? But to be honest, I would look...
I always find that when people say, oh, I'm a Marmite kind of person, people either love me or hate me. They're always people that everybody hates.
Is it how much of Silvio Berlusconi is made of oil?
Is it what percentage of the population, rather than a TV debate, would like to see Cameron and Brown have a cage fight?
I would love to see that.
So would I.
Yeah. Who would win that?
I would imagine Brown.
Yeah,
He's got moves.
Yeah. He's also got that dislocatable jaw.
Yeah, he can actually swallow your whole.
He could swallow you.
He can actually take your jaw down.
Imagine that. Wouldn't that be incredible? If Cameron ran towards him.
Cameron's legs flapping.
Is it what was the proportion of cats that died during the making of my ill-fated television pilot, Cat versus Bleach?
It would be 100%, surely.
Do we have an answer that we can do?
I think it's what percentage of the top jobs in the Labour Party does Harriet Harman think should be filled by women?
You're absolutely right. Very good. Well done, Hugh. Thank you very much. Yes, the question I was looking for was, according to Harriet Harman, what proportion of the top 2 posts in the Labour Party should be allocated to Harriet Harman? Or more generally, women. This is the news. The Deputy Leader of the Labour Party, Harriet Harman, said that either her post or the job of leader should always be occupied by a woman because, in her words, men cannot be left to run things on their own. Her actual words.
Listen to that applause. Did you hear that? Bingo wings in the corner.
I mean, you know, there is something about representation of women at the high levels of government, but that actual quote does make it seem like every time she left the room, it would turn into a chimp's tea party. Sorry, and she'd come back in and they go, oh, sorry.
It's true, though, isn't it, that women are underrepresented in the top echelons of politics. I know, in Italy, for example, there are lots of women in the top jobs. You can be... Berlusconi will put you in the cabinet in Italy at the age of 19. If you're good enough. So you can see where it's coming from.
Harriet Harman's an incredible figure, isn't she? You know that Harriet Harman, when she first came to my attention, she wrote a book about the history of feminism, which she dedicated to her husband. She's mistaking sexism with people hating her.
She's always saying stupid things, isn't she? She said she is Radio 2 to Gordon Brown's Radio 4. And you're thinking, well, she's not Radio 2. Radio 2 is the most popular radio station in this country. If she's anything, she's Isle of Wight FM on a Sunday morning at 3 o'clock in January when the transmission mast is broken.
Some we're watching there is the guy who does the 3 o'clock in the morning slot. Why am I the shorthand for crap?
Wouldn't it be great if he looks exactly like Harriet Harman as well?
I know their female politicians always have an element of freakishness, don't they? She's a bit of a freak. Hazel Blears looks like Gianfranco Zola humped an Oompa Loompa. And Margaret Beckett looks like a face trapped in a haunted mirror.
What did the Bank of England unveil last week?
I think it was a new fiver, wasn't it?
This is the new fiver, my friend. This is the new fiver.
Oh, make it rain.
Oh, yeah, I never thought of doing that. Like, oh, yeah, fiver. Yeah. Oh,
You're making it drizzle at that
step. Yeah, hang on, that's it, isn't it? That's the motion. These were lent us by the bank for, you know, interest in satire, not for me to go,
It's literally the worst rap video of all time. Never see Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre fetching the money they've just thrown.
Oh, honey, yeah, 30 pounds. Does that make your dreams come true?
Oh, this would be terrible. Imagine because they're actually they're plasticky and clear and see through their polymer notes, which means you could actually go to the laptop and go, I can see you. I can see you. Can you see my money?
Imagine that at a cashier. I can see you. I can see you. Just pay for the condoms and leave.
The testing that they put them through, they said they dipped it in tea for, you know, all those times you mistake a fiver for a hobnob.
I often do that when I'm taunting younger comedians. Oh, really? I eat my fibres.
It could be they realised the recession was caused by people leaving fivers in their jean pockets, putting them in the wash.
Fivers only last they only rarely last 5 years. a £5 note. They
You're thrifty, aren't you?
Yeah.
I could make a fiver. I can't even make it last 5 years.
I mean, honestly, cost of living.
This is the most I've ever been paid for this show.
You can't rip it, can you?
It's very difficult to tear. Very
Awful
difficult to burn.
news for magicians.
That'd be so irritating, actually. Make it stoing. Oh, come on. Sign it for me. Oh, is it here? Stoing. Ah, come on. Bloody fivers.
I like that
Have you ripped the new ones given to us by the Bank of England specially? Have you literally torn?
Well, they should have made more of an effort to make it stronger. Back to the drawing board, guys.
Can I ask if that's actually allowed? Because one newspaper went mad about the fact that you were defacing the Queen, and then they said of all the indignities Churchill has suffered, being scrunched up, dipped in tea and Ribena is the worst. And I was like, surely it's the nodding dog commercial. Is that less dignified? Oh, yes.
We shall fight them on the beaches. Yeah, so those are the fivers, yes, please, if you can.
Guys,
Thank
bad
you.
news, I lost mine.